What's up, everybody? I'm Metal Nick,
I'm Jeff Grindstoffer.
and welcome to episode number 16 of Vinyl Bang. This episode, we are talking about 7 inches.
7 inches. Yeah. Episode 16, and 1 plus 6 is 7.
Here we go.
That's how my brain works. Always math, always doing stuff, but yeah, purely coincidence.
We were trying to figure out a neat one, and I said, we haven't really talked about our 7 inches, our 45 RPMs, or what you have you. I know for a fact that I've got a lot of stuff that just I haven't pulled out for this show at all, and I can only imagine if I haven't done it, what the hell does Jeff have? So
right, we haven't really done 7 inches at all, except for like the box setup. So
yeah, yep, exactly.
I haven't done 7 inches.
And there's a couple. There's a particular band that I'm going to talk about in here that they're loaded with 7 inches, and then they're friends of ours. So we'll give them a big shout out in a bit there. But you want to kick things off, Jeff?
Sure. Yeah, I'll start off with the biggest collection of 7 inches that I have right offhand. The first 7 inch that I'm going to do is the complete collection of the Cattle Decapitation Caninus split 7 inch. They did 5 different pressings of this in 2005. This split came out in 2005. The first press, in order, they did a press of red and white mix, which is like I believe it's listed on Discogs. There's 2 different listings for this. There's a listing as red and white, and then one is like a pink marbled. They did 150 of these, and this is actually pink. I'm not going to do the red pink argument here, but this is actually a pink marbled record. And like I said, this was a pressing of 150. Up next, they did a clear and red, which was 357.
Oh, that looks awesome. Hold that closer. Oh, that's great. That's a cool splatter.
Yeah. Like that one turned out really well.
Yeah.
And then the third pressing, or the third variant in the first run of presses, was a blue and red. And they did 511 of these.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
These are kind of hard to track down. It took me quite a while to accumulate all of these at separate times throughout the years, but I do have all 5. There are 6 listed on Discogs, but there are only actually 5. One of them is a duplicate listing. As far as the second run of pressings they did a brown and red, 516 of these, solid brown with a red splatter.
These have to have like silly names to them. This is kind of decapitation we're talking about here.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure Travis, if Travis were ever to chime in, he would say,
dog shit brown,
or puppy pecker pink, or whatever. And the final pressing this is actually red.
Get the fuck out of here! That's pink.
It is. It's red. I swear to God, it's a red. It's a red variant. They did 532 of these. And like I said, this split came out in 2005 with the now defunct band Caninus, who had 2 pit bulls as their vocalists, I believe. And I'm not entirely familiar with a lot of their. God, I cannot get this back in the jacket. I'm not entirely familiar with this project at all. This is really the only material that I've ever heard from them was these
same
Cattle Decapitation. But I mean, they must have had a pretty big following at one point, or their cattle was still really underground 20 years ago to do a split with a band that has pit bulls for vocalists. But either way, these tracks are on the medium rarities compilation, the collection of B-sides and demos and other such tracks that Cattle released in 2018. 17 or 18. I don't remember when Medium Rarities came out, but these tracks can all be found on there. It's got I forget what tracks are even on this damn thing. Hold on, let's see if I can dig this out. No, it does not have the track.
What an ultimate fuck you. We're not even going to put
Right?
song titles on this.
No Future, Birth, Cancer, Death.
The Recapitation of the Cattle.
The Recapitation of hold on. Birth, Cancer, Death, No Future, Chili Dispenser, The Recapitation of Cattle, Thumbrosis, All In, and Turn on the Masters.
Turn on the Masters.
Is the cattle decapitation side of this. So,
Yeah,
and the artwork, and this, like the artwork itself is like a cutout. So like whenever you remove this, it just reveals caninus, but it's a pretty cool artwork. It's got the family as more of a grotesque version of what's actually on the cover. But whenever you add it in here, it adds the color to the plate of food that they're eating. So kind of a cool little thing.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. And the complete collection, again, kids, let me stress that. All 5 pressings. Pretty proud of those. Pretty proud of those.
Wouldn't there be a test press?
There is no test press. They did no test press. They just went on a whim and
sure
just pressed them. No test press. Next topic.
Reach out to your boy Ravis trying.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I'm gonna talk about a band that I'm surprised I've never talked about this band on this show, and I've got a pretty decent collection of their stuff, and that is Extortion from Australia. They're from Perth, Australia. I got a couple records here. I'm gonna showcase. This first one is a split they did with a band called Septic Surge. Look at that cover. The singer he does all their artwork, and it's always pretty graphic stuff like that. Septic Surge is the band they did the split with. I don't remember what color pressing. It's blue.
Nice.
This album was 2009. Came out on RSR, which is I guess Regurgitated Semen's Records. That guy's based out of Germany, I think.
Regurgitated what?
Regurgitated Semen. Regurgitated Semen. Yeah. Here's another one. The Jed Whitey split. And this came with like a little silver cover. Number 56 of 100. I don't know what color this one is. Ooh, yellow.
Nice.
Extortion, they're like a power violence, hardcore punk. I don't know how you want to say it. This is one of my favorite pieces of art that this guy did. This is a split that they did with a band called Agents of Aberrance. I think I'm saying that name right. You can see the top is Extortion, the bottom is Agents of Aberrance. But like, look at that. I have this tattooed on my arm, actually. This is some neat shit. And this is the clear pressing.
Nice.
This came out in 2008 on Deep Six Records. Shout out to Bob from Deep Six. Yeah, Extortion. I saw them a couple years ago at Maryland Death, 2010, I think it was Maryland Death Fest, and I had to film them for one of those DVDs that I was working at that year, and they just blew me away. They were so great, and unfortunately they're from Australia, so I don't get to see them all the time. And they were supposed to tour the U.S. a couple years ago, and they had to cancel at the last minute. But they are coming to play Death Fest this year. I'm pretty excited. Them and Weekend Nachos, so I'm gonna be a little spoiled that weekend. But
oh
yeah, I've got a lot of their vinyl. Those are just a couple of 7 inches. I got plenty more on the shelf, plus some 12 inches. But they're a cool band. They're just, I don't know. A lot of people know a lot more people know about them than I do. But damn it, what I'm trying to say here. I'm just stoked to see them in a couple weeks here, or in a couple weeks actually in Baltimore.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. I want to bring some of my records to get signed because like that dude's art is fucking great. I like I said, I have a tattoo right here of the that one split I just showed there. But
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, yeah, that guy's. I'm a fan of his artwork. He's they have an EP, or I guess it is an EP called Sick, and it's just this little girl like holding her mouth like this, and there's like vomit shooting out everywhere, and every song title is like some sort of illness or ailment. But yeah, they're a cool band. Just they get sludgy and doomy at times, but then they break out like the fast punky stuff, and yeah,
Sounds fun. Yeah, you've always been a big enthusiast of that band, and the reason why I know of them, and I've listened to some of their stuff because of your enthusiasm for them. But yeah, they're good for sure.
mhm. Yeah, for sure, they are good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, what you got next?
All right. Moving on. The next band that I'm going to feature is I'm going to do a couple of splits from these guys. This particular split with a band called Depraved is by Cephalic Carnage.
Fuck yeah.
This particular split, this came out in 1994, which was several years before I had heard of them, or before even Exploiting. I think Exploiting came out in like 98 or
98,
99. I think.
98,
Yeah.
1998.
Yeah. This EP or this split came out years before they were doing anything huge, before they were signed to Relapse or anything. But this their contribution to this split is there's two tracks. There is a song called Father Pederast, which was never released. It was never released on any um, albums or demos or anything else. It was just like a one time thing for this. I think they did on the Split My Lungs demo. I think I'd really
Scrape
have to
my
research it.
lungs.
Scrape My Lungs. That's right. You're right. You're right. Big fan I am. And the second track on here is called The Harvest, which several years later became Cryptosporidium on Exploiting Dysfunction.
Oh, cool.
So pretty cool little piece of history to own from one of my all-time favorite bands, Cephalic Carnage. The second EP that I have, or the second split that I have from them, is a split they did with a band called Impaled, which a lot of you are probably familiar with, or some people are probably familiar with.
I have one of their albums on vinyl.
Yeah, what?
I have one of their albums on vinyl.
Yeah, they're
Also,
a pioneering band in the gore grind genre, and both of these are just standard black. I mean, there's nothing special about the pressings. But the split with Impaled came out in 1999. It features two tracks. It has Observer to the Obliteration of Planet Earth and an unreleased track called Regurgitation, Ad Nauseum, and Fecal Decay. So another unreleased cephalic track on this 1999 split with Impaled. And this was, like I said, around the time that Exploiting came out. So again, pretty cool couple of splits to have from Cephalic Carnage. And these are, I don't know, they're, I guess, kind of easy to track down, or they wouldn't take too much effort to find. As soon as I saw them, as soon as I saw the first listing on eBay or Discogs or whatever it was, I mean, I snatched them immediately. I had to, have to have everything Cephalic Carnage has ever done, and they were definitely worth getting just because of the, like I said, the tracks that were never released officially. So pretty cool.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. I've never seen those in person before, so I should have asked you to break those out when I was at your house.
Next time.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. What you got?
So I got this long one here by a band that I admire a lot, the Acacia Strain. Back in 2020, this was, I think it started right before the quarantine and happened all throughout, but they released a series of 7 inches. First one was D, then there was E, then there was C, and there was A, and then there was Y, and it spells out decay. And from start to finish, it's like, this beautiful like scene, and then the end is like everything is dead and gone. This was put out by Rise Records. I think they put out like each record would come out like every 2 or 3 months. I can't. Maybe it was like every 2 months that they put it out, and they sold really quickly. I was lucky not to get like the rarest of one, but I would get like whatever I could of all of these, and then eventually they put it out on like a big 12-inch. Let me see. I know not everyone is like the same, because literally like every time they would put one out, it would be the pressings would be different from before. So this one's like half white, half yellow. Yeah. And then, like I said, they put out like a 12-inch, and they did like a screen printer cover. Oh, cool. I bought these crappy 7-inch sleeves, and that shit breaks real easily.
Yeah, I've never found a good 7-inch sleeve ever.
No.
Get what you can find sometimes. Oh, okay, very cool. Oh, that's badass. So these 7 inches, like is that an album that they split up into 7 inches, or what's the story behind the pressings here?
So I should have broken it out, but it would have defeated the purpose. But they did put out like a 12-inch EP, and or I guess I don't know how you look at it. Is it a full length or what? But and it was called Decay, or no, it had some other name. Shit. But yeah, they did a couple like surprise releases last year as well, but this was like it was like a series of 7 inches that spelled out Decay, and then like I said, there was like a 12-inch like full length that came with it. It came out in 2020 on Rise Records, and yeah, they just damn. I wish I had. Maybe I have it here on my phone. Let me see.
Slow Decay.
Slow Decay. There you go.
Yeah. I was trying to help you out while you had me off screen.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I that was a it was a smart thing, a pretty cool thing of them to do for record collectors like me. I wish they didn't want to give people a heads up. They kind of just wanted to surprise you, and I didn't want to like pull anything from the band and be like, "Yo, give me a heads up on this." So like, I was fortunate to get stuff before anything sold out. Like I said, like they would tell you on the bottom like what the pressings were, and the info of like what they were or how much were in each one. And like the rarest one was always sold out by the time I got in there, but you don't need like the rarest one every time, as long as you get a pressing, and I did. I was able to get every one, plus the Slow Decay, two different copies of the Slow Decay. One was, like I said, screen print cover, and the other one was just the basic one, but they had multiple pressings, cool looking ones too. Vince from the Acacia Strain, he definitely knows his shit with vinyl, and he doesn't fuck around. He definitely gets his hands involved in that. So it's cool stuff. But yeah, that series of 7 inches, it was pretty cool the way they released it, and just what it all like looked like when the artwork was all laid out. I wish I could show you, but
only so many hands.
Go Google it. Yeah, I only have so many hands. Right.
Oh yeah, man, that is very cool, and a concept that isn't really like utilized very often. Like you don't see bands taking an entire EP and splitting it up into different 7 inches.
I think a couple bands did it. I think Poison the Well's done it. I'm trying to think who else, but like, yeah, no, I liked it. That was like cool because it was happening during an odd time in our planet, and yeah, I had the money to spend.
May as well.
Yeah,
And the Acacia Strain they're an awesome band.
for sure.
It's been a while since I've seen them, but yeah, they're I'm not as well versed in them as you by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah, they're an awesome band.
Definitely, for sure. All right.
All right, my turn.
Yes, sir.
My turn. All right, up next, I'm going to do a couple of fun ones. For those of you who are unaware, Nick and I are big South Park enthusiasts. The name of this show stemming from an episode of South Park. The next couple of discs that I'm going to feature here are record store day releases from the first one was from the San Diego Gay Fish picture disc was from Record Store Day in 2013. This was limited to 2,000 copies. This may have been the only reason why I sat out in front of which record store did I go to for this? It might have been Vintage Vinyl in St. Louis. This was the only reason why I sat in the cold at 4 in the morning, was to get this pressing because, again, just huge fan of South Park. I try to get everything affiliated with them, especially on Record Store Day. But yeah, this is I've never listened to it. I'm not a fan of listening to picture discs on the turntable. It's just a thing I have. I don't know if it's just something like I feel like they should never be played. I don't know, unless I absolutely 100% there's no other way to hear the album or song to listen to the picture disc, but I've never listened to the Gay Fish picture disc. But very, very, very cool thing to have. Very cool thing to have in my collection. Of course, you know, as I said, once again, South Park enthusiast. The next one came out in 2014. This was the Black Friday. I guess they had two different record store days, one in April and then one on Black Friday in November.
They're getting greedy.
Sure, of course, you know, why not? People are willing to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on records. Why not do it? So this one features the James Cameron or the song James Cameron, and then the Kanye West song "My Bitch Ain't No Hobbit" from I forget what episode this was. God, I
forget the one where they read the Catcher in the Rye, and then what's his name?
Was that Scrooty McBoogerballs?
Was that the one? I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, it had to have been because they were doing banned books. It was.
Yeah, and then he shot. In the end, he ended up shooting Kim Kardashian, right? Or
yeah. So it had to have been the Scrooty McBoogerballs episode. Anyway.
Yeah.
This particular pressing was limited to 2,500 copies. They made 500 more of this than they did the San Diego Gay Fish pressing. But again, you know, this is just the South Park enthusiast in me having to have everything that, or not everything because that would be ridiculous, but vinyl related South Park memorabilia. Had to have it, do have it, proud of it. That's a good slogan. Like I should copyright that. Had to have it, got it, proud to have it, or whatever I just said. I don't know. I have to go back and watch.
I really wish those guys would put out like a full-length DVD album because, like, I mean, from everything that they've done, whether it was South Park to Basketballs to what was the other movie?
America.
No, like those guys were they're hilarious, and those songs are absolutely a riot. You know,
absolutely.
I really hope I score that 25th anniversary concert record this weekend because that version of Uncle Fucker that they do on it was just incredible.
Oh, it is. Dude, seeing it live was incredible. Like Melanie and I got to go to the first night of the shows at Red Rocks. It was our very first time ever going to Red Rocks, but like I had to go to that. That was something that was like just an absolute must. It was like an endurance challenge getting the fucking tickets too. It was ridiculous trying to get tickets for that show, but easily one of the top 5 shows of my life. That South Park show, the 25th anniversary at Red Rocks. But yeah, that collection, talking about, you know, the DVD soundtrack, that's a pretty close. That's about as close as you're going to get to a lot of their stuff being on vinyl.
I mean, like there was stuff in basketball that was just like, I wish they would have used in those movies, but I don't know. I don't know what that was. Those were all probably licensed to, what was it, New Line, whoever put that movie out.
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah.
Those
Anyway.
brothers. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on.
All right. Moving on.
This is a band that I have yet to talk about, or maybe I did in the Clear episode. I don't know. I don't remember if I've talked about them or not. But these are friends from up north. Fuck the Facts.
Yes.
This is the unnamed EP, which you can see right there, the titles and all that. But like, when I say that this band is DIY, I cannot stress it. Like this, they put all this together. Like right here is on the back is a little label that says 52C. That indicates that 52 is the number of this. This is a numbered vinyl. It's out of 100, and I got number 52. C means it's clear. I think this, oh shit, download code just fell out there, but the cover kind of like opens up here, and this art in the back, it's, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like it's put in there. I think this was like a hand
realized that
from Mel.
Yeah.
Like they put a lot of effort into like the layout of this, and yeah, I mean, like I think they went and printed all this stuff on their own. I remember they had like a little like blog up, I believe, but shit. Yeah, I guess that's where it's numbered, is on the back of the little sticker there. But
very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, this was pretty cool. I Loss Upon Loss was a song I always remember like really being into on this EP. This band's incredible. They don't really have like a sound. Like I remember the first time hearing them, thought they were like a grindcore band, but they were a little bit more like than that. And I've seen them live a handful of times. This, at some point when I got to know these guys a little bit better, guys and girl a little bit better, I started to see that they have more than just those albums that they put out on Relapse. They had a lot of stuff. I mean, they were a different band for a very long time too.
Mm-hmm.
But this band is like the definition of DIY. Like this record was this EP is very interesting. I have other records by them where I know there's like hand drawn stuff that Mel did. So like every release would be like unique to what it was. But this band is so fucking awesome. Like I've seen them live a handful of times. I remember one time getting off of work and driving all the way down to Richmond, Virginia to see them with like Paul Bear, and like they're just great people, great musicians. I know they were supposed to play Death Fest a couple years ago and had to cancel. Like I really wish I could see them live again sometime soon, because they absolutely kill it. And fuck the Facts. I know.
Yeah, absolutely a phenomenal live band. Just like you, I've seen them a handful of times throughout the years, and usually in different settings. Like I think probably the most unique experience I've had with Fuck the Facts was in 2011 or 2012. They played a show at Foo Bar in St. Louis, and they turned all of the lights off. They specifically had the room, it would just be pitch black whenever they played. And I was like, it was odd, because I was trying to film Bill for Sick Drummer magazine, and I of course couldn't use any of the footage because he couldn't see it. But yeah, they're a phenomenal band. Phenomenal.
Yeah. That album, Disgorge Mexico, is so fucking good. I remember seeing them in Baltimore with the Misery Index guys, and they just like played practically that whole album that night, and it's incredible stuff. They're just, they've got this like wide range of music that they play, but like I've never seen them play the same set twice. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. No, and Disgorge Mexico is like one of those quintessential grind albums. Like, you have to own it. If you're a fan of any genre of grind, like Disgorge Mexico is just, you have to have it. It's just so good.
Yeah, yeah, I love that one.
And I have that unnamed EP, but I don't think it's the same pressing.
I think it
I'd
was
have to dig it
black
out
and
and
clear. I think I have the black one too, but
so I think mine's black. I think.
mm,
I don't know. I'd have to dig it out, but I don't remember that back piece being like perforated. You know, being like being its own thing where you could take it off. Like I don't remember that being a thing. That's pretty badass.
yeah, there's more to it. I didn't want to like. It would be hard to like show it in there, but yeah, like I said, when it comes to DIY stuff, I mean, they did a great job at putting together the layout for that album, that EP. It was just, and they've done a lot of stuff like that over the years. I mean,
Yeah.
so, anyways, moving
Hell
on.
yeah, fuck the facts, love them,
Yeah,
and they've been pretty big supporters of I've been Topin or Mel or whoever it is has been a pretty big supporter of our show for the last few episodes for a while
yeah,
now. So appreciate
absolutely.
that. Shout out to fuck the facts.
Definitely shout out to those guys and girl. They're great group of people. Like I said, like I've had some definitely some fun times with them. Some ex members of the band that I've partied with those guys for a long time. So
You know,
yeah, I miss those people. I miss them all. I haven't seen them in years. So hopefully soon.
that would be nice.
We need to go to Canada.
We'll go to Canada, dude. If nothing else, we'll just go to Toronto and see fuck the facts. If you won't
Hmm.
come to us, we'll come to you.
Leave your children
All
at home.
right. Do what?
Leave the children at home. I bet you their kids
Yeah,
come to shows with them now. Like I wouldn't be surprised. I think their daughter's old enough. Why not?
probably. Yeah.
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 They're
Who
probably
knows?
not taking her to Taylor Swift though.
No, probably not.
All right.
All right, well, moving on. A little section of that last story where Nick said he had saw "Fuck the Facts" with Misery Index. The next band I'm going to talk about is Misery Index. This is the Hang 'Em High EP. They did two different covers for this, and I have the other one. I just didn't dig it out, and I don't know why.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
The
my
movie
old age.
poster one.
Huh?
The movie poster.
Yeah, the actual movie poster one. This copy I got back whenever I was before I was such good friends with the band that I am now. I think it was like the first or second time I'd ever seen them, and I had asked them to sign the cover, which I'm not going to ask them to sign anything now just because I've helped shoot music videos for Misery Index. I think we're past the autograph thing on the vinyl now for Misery Index. But anyway, this is a very cool little thing that I have in my collection. This particular pressing was pressed by Garden of Exile Records, which is in the Netherlands. This particular pressing, this is the standard black pressing. I'm pretty sure. No. Oh, I got the green one. This green one, the green pressing, was limited to 300. The standard black pressing, which is also put up with the alternate cover pressing that I didn't dig out because I'm a lame ass, was pressed on. There were 600 of the standard black and the alternate cover, which I would dig out, but I'm not. Maybe whenever Nick goes to the next screen where it's just him, maybe I'll dig through the box real quick. That pressing was limited to 200. Again, this was autographed by the band in 2008. It says one of the I believe that's Mark, maybe. Praise the Lord, God bless you. Isn't he sweet? Praise the Lord, God bless me. This is a fun little EP, man. The songs that were released on here, I don't believe were released on anything else. Any other albums or anything? They did Hang 'Em High, Seen and Not Heard, Love It or Leave It, and side B of this is an acoustic version of Discordia, the title track from the debut album to feature Adam Jarvis and Mark Kleppel. And that version, the acoustic version of that song, was recorded in St. Louis, Missouri. which is pretty cool. I don't know if they were on tour or if they were just. I know Mark and AJ are both from the Missouri area, so they probably were home for Christmas or whatever, and they just got together and recorded the song. Who knows how it happened? Who knows? I don't. But it's a pretty cool little thing to have. Little the acoustic version of Discordia. And the Seen and Not Heard, I remember talking to Jason Netherton a while after I'd heard this, and he mentions Nirvana. Like he says something along the lines of present day Nirvana, where are you? Or something like that. Like, and I wasn't sure if it was a bash at Nirvana or if he was a fan. He was like, oh, it was definitely, I'm a fan. You know, like I'm a fan of the music and whatever they stood for or whatever his answer was at the time. But so yeah, I learned that Jason Netherton at one point liked Nirvana. So pretty cool thing I learned from having the lyrics for this EP. Look at that thing, that right there, that cover. I have that in one of those boxes. Was it 162 of 2? All right, now I got to see if I have a lower number than you. Now I got. I don't know why I didn't
heard. Okay, Seen and Not Heard. I mean, that song, they like break it down and then they go bree bree bree. It's a good fucking cheese. So yeah, they're basically, you know, without saying it, they're making fun of all those like deathcore bands that were bree bree breeing pretty hard, and yeah, it's just that was a favorite of mine on that album. I thought that was hilarious that they did that song. I think that the Discordia acoustic was just Mark by himself. I don't think anybody else is on there with him. I really don't remember listening to it before. Have you heard it before?
Yeah, no, I've heard it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like any of them else are on there. I don't know. Must have been something Mark did at home by himself in St. Louis.
It might have just been Mark. That would make sense.
But yeah, Hang 'em High. What a cool song. I've seen him play it a couple times. Yeah, I like that EP a lot. That's a cool fucking one. I don't like that other version.
Absolutely a cool version. I didn't realize I had the green or the green pressing picked out. That was the one I got autographed. That's pretty badass.
Fuck yeah, man.
But yeah, whenever you go to your next segment where it's just you on screen, I'm going to dig through mine and find mine and see if I have a lower number than you on that pressing, just because like I have to know what number mine is.
Cool. All right. Well, my next one that I'm going to talk about is a band that I don't know. I found out about this band during quarantine, and this guy, it's a one-man band, and he's got kind of a theme, a recurring theme on his artwork. This band's called Internal, and on most of their artwork, they always have these hyenas. Not these particular ones, but always like a hyena. This one came out. This is called Primal State. This one came out in 2021 on Blast for Humanity and Practiced Hatred. The red vinyl, which it looks pink, but this there's 102 of these, and then there's a mail order copy, an alternate cover that is out of 30. Well, this one says out of 60, so I don't know, but it's like printed on like cover like black and white, you know, hyenas snapping at the lion there, but yeah, this is a very cool power violence project. Sounds a lot like that band Crossed Out. It's actually the only band that I've ever been able to play for Blake Harrison that he could get into. Like nothing else I've ever played for him really impresses him, but this he really liked a lot. Yeah. This guy has put out a lot of stuff. I don't think he's put anything out recently. I know there was like a punk covers EP that was put up on Bandcamp, but there's some rare stuff that like Damien Records has put out from this band that I really want to get my hands on. It's hard to. Anytime this stuff gets put up for pre-order, it sells out super quick because yeah, the hype is real on this band. It's like I said, it's one guy. He's the singer of that band, Wound Man. But yeah, Internal. This is one of a couple of stuff that I have, but this Primal State is the name of this EP. And
that's another band that I know of because of you. That's another band that I've discovered because of your enthusiasm for them. That, you know,
it's hard to get your hands on this stuff when Damien Records put out like a 5-inch, I want to say 2020 or 2022, and I bought 2 of these little like square like 5 inches, and the guy hit me back. He's like, it's supposed to be one per customer, and I told him I was buying one for Blake, and I kind of explained to him I didn't want to like put Blake's business out there, but I was, I told him like, he's going through some treatment right now, and I want to surprise him with this record. And then the guy asked me for Blake's address and shirt size, and Lindsay gave me the shirt size and address, and he sent Blake like a care package of all these like records and a t-shirt and stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was really neat. I was pretty stoked that he did that for him, and Blake was pretty grateful for that. And I remember when Blake passed away, that guy sent me a message. He was pretty bummed about that, but he was happy that we were able to get Blake into internal, because they, like I said, it's Blake wasn't an easy guy to impress, but that band is, you like your grind, if you like your power violence, that band is it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And what number did you find you have, Jeff?
187.
Oh, you're just a couple lower than mine.
Oh, 187. I mean, that's a fun one,
187.
Yeah.
All righty.
Yeah. All right.
Next one.
Now that we're past the misery index debate as to who has the cooler version of Hang 'Em High, my next pressing is a partial bootleg, according to Discogs, which I don't understand. It either is or isn't. I guess it was. It has the this pressing had the blessing from the band, even though it wasn't them that pressed it. I am, of course, talking about Mr.bungle's 1992 partial bootleg called Uremia. Uremia, which I don't think is listed anywhere on the cover. I don't think it's listed anywhere on the cover, but that is what the official Encyclopedia Discogs has it listed as. This was pressed in Italy. There are 500 of them, as it says here, pressed in Italy, limited edition of 500. This is also known as the Stroke and Live in America. It just has different translations and whatever through from Italy to the U.S. and different people call it different things or whatever. This includes live tracks, Mi Stroke il Cigaretto, which is also known as the Stroke. Side A is Mi Stroke il Cigaretto, and on side A, and side B is a lot of things here. Porco, Dio, Contra, Mancini, Forizzo. I don't even know, dude, what all this is. But a couple of live tracks from Mr.bungle in 1992. A very cool thing to have. These are a little hard to come by. I don't remember when I got this or where I got this from, if it was eBay or Discogs, but definitely something that was needed in the collection to go along with the rest of my bungle collection. Pretty cool little thing to have for a partial bootleg. And I believe that's all the information I really have about that. It was pressed in Italy, 500 pressings, and it's hard to pronounce. A lot of the tracks are, the Italian translation is hard to pronounce. Like all this up here, Undiamo al Asparte. I'm not even going to try to read all that, dude. But it's definitely cool to have. Definitely a cool little bootleg for Mr.bungle to have in my collection, being the big bungle enthusiast that I am.
I always thought you hated that band, Jeff.
No, they're okay. They're okay. They have a couple good songs.
Yeah. All right. So my next one in the 7-inch episode, I'm going to talk about a band that I've talked about quite a few times here, and that is Weekend Nachos. This is the Watch You Suffer EP. I guess this is like more of a demo. Right before they put out the Still album. This is a yellow pressing of it. The other song is That Life of Yours. I do not. Maybe that. I don't think this was on. That song was on still, but this came out in 2013 on A389 Records, based out of Baltimore, Maryland. Shout out to Dom. He would always put on those A389 fests. I also have the test press of it, and look at that with all the
nice
Nightmare on Elm Street stuff. There's on the top. There's John with Robert Englund, aka Freddy Krueger. There's all this good junk in here. This one is a oh cool. I did not realize this one is actually signed. Got these guys to sign this when I saw them. I don't remember how long ago, but definitely signed by the bottom. A389 116. It's supposed to be numbered. Oh, here it is. Number 15 of 16.
Nice.
So, yeah, I did. I always try to get my hands on some of the unique stuff from Weekend Nachos, and I guess Dom was always very cool about selling shit like this. Like he would always do contests, but if I didn't win anything, I would always still hit him up, and he'd be like, "Yeah, sure, buddy, no problem." And he would sell me a lot of stuff, and then eventually he sold a lot of stuff on his Discogs page, but I always thought Weekend Nachos was probably the coolest. He had a lot of integrity in that band. A lot of people would buy their stuff up. So
integrity.
Yeah, you gotta have some integrity, don't you?
Yeah, integrity. Yeah, the Weekend Nachos Nightmare on Elm Street thing, like that. It's like now, whenever I see anything related to Nightmare on Elm Street, I always think of Weekend Nachos because they had different designs with Freddy Krueger and
yeah, that one shirt with that Freddy Krueger that was like with like Windows paint drawn. I actually have a T-shirt for I think it's Watch You Suffer. And on the front, it's just Weekend Nachos logo, like it's Nightmare on Elm Street. And on the back, it's got a picture of all these people from like the first couple Nightmare on Elm Street movies, like Johnny Depp and all these people that were killed in the movies. And the last one is John, the singer. It's like this photo of him. And it says every city has an Elm Street or something like that, or every town has an Elm Street. But yeah, they definitely had their obsession with Freddy Krueger and those movies, which is cool.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. All right. So moving on, my next 7-inch is a first edition from a pretty big band. They did a vinyl club in 2020. This first pressing was released in September of 2020 as the first 7-inch of the vinyl club. I'm talking about Metallica. Metallica did a pressing of, they did 4 different 7-inches, I believe, during the pandemic. And if you signed up for I believe it was like a yearly subscription for their vinyl club, it was like, I don't know, $70 or $80, I think, for a year subscription. And you got 4 different records in a year time span. This is the very first vinyl club pressing that they sent out to their subscribers. It has 2 tracks that were recorded from Monsters of Rock Festival in Castle Donington, England in 1987. And the 2 tracks are For Whom the Bell Tolls and Leper Messiah.
Hell yeah.
Pretty cool. 1987 lineup. Has never been opened. I wanted to have it more than I wanted to actually listen to it. But this was released on Blackened Recordings in 2020, and I believe that, like, aside from the Walmart pressings that they did a couple years back, that this was like one of the first releases on Blackened Recordings, I believe, except for like the reissues, like I said, on for the Walmart pressings. But definitely a cool thing to have. I have my vinyl club, Metallica vinyl club membership card right here. Look at this. Pretty cool. I carry this around in my wallet just in case if anybody ever asks for my credibility. Jeff Chris, they misspelled Grindstoffer, but is what it is. But yeah, the other three pressings that they did for this Vinyl Club, I mean, they were pretty cool. One of them was for like I Disappear, the song they did from the Mission Impossible soundtrack, which wasn't a fan of, But I forget what the other ones were. One of them was like a tribute to Chris Cornell, and I don't remember what the other one was, but this one is absolutely my favorite of the bunch. Live in Donington in '97, and it's numbered as I forget how many there were exactly, but this is 1,854 of, we'll just say 1,855. Pretty cool. Pretty cool little pressing, and the artwork is done by Pushead. A lot of artwork done by Pushead over the years. This almost has like the Crash Course in Brain Surgery feel to it from the Garage Days EP. Almost has the same kind of feel to it. Yeah.
Shit.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I'd love to hear what that Leper Messiah sounds like.
I would too. I really would too. But honestly, dude, like hearing a lot of stuff that Metallica has released on live stuff throughout the years, I don't know. I'd be kind of content with just hearing it on Spotify or something. Like, I don't know if I would ever want to break that open just to hear that Leper Messiah from '87. But maybe one of these days. Maybe whenever I come see you, I'll bring it with me. We can play it on your stereo.
There we go. Sounds like man. All right. All right. So this next one I'm going to talk about is pretty cool and unique looking 7-inch, although it's a little bigger than a 7-inch. At least the record itself is 7 inches. This is Old Dirty Bastard Brooklyn Zoo and Shimmy Shimmy Y'all picture disc, but it's made to look like his food stamp card. And this came out, we'll see here, 2016 on Get On Down Records. They put out they re-release a lot of good package stuff on from hip hop stuff from the 90s. So yeah, I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. I love ODB. This was from his first album, and yeah, I'll open it up. Fuck it, see what it looks like. I can't remember. I forgot what the other side. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Oh yeah, that is cool.
You can kind of see the grooves there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, packaged really well.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh wow, I'm like seeing all this stuff in here that I've never seen before. But yeah, this was a unique one. It's on my 7-inch shelf. It is technically a 7-inch, but yeah, I like to have rare, unique Wu-Tang stuff. I know there's more shit out there, and I think we kind of covered a little bit of my Jizza stuff in one episode, but like that in the box set episode, I showed you a pretty cool Jizza album that I have. But yeah, I have something a little bit more unique from also, I believe, Get On Down that I'll share in another episode some other time. But yeah, the ODB. What a fucking
definitely cool, man.
Wu-Tang is for the children. He's the original going up on stage and interrupting somebody at an award show. He did that way before fucking Kanye
West.
Taylor. Yeah, he did it at the Grammys.
Really?
Like 97. Yeah. It was great.
Yeah, I must have known about that one. As long as he wasn't interrupting Taylor Swift, I don't care who it was.
It was Taylor Swift's mom.
Taylor Swift's mom. I don't care.
He did it. Doesn't matter.
No. I don't care.
All right.
All right. Anyway, all right. my last contribution for this episode is going to be a smorgasbord, if you will, of different bands, but in a test pressing format. I believe these are all of the. No, this isn't even all of the 7-inch test presses that I own, but these are just a few that I wanted to feature. The first is a test pressing of the debut EP from Fulgora. This is the Risen EP. There were 4 of these released by Cricket Cemetery Records in 2013. There are 5 of these, and I own number 4, E0004. This is absolutely one of my favorite projects from Adam Jarvis and John Jarvis, and I've seen them a couple of times. We saw them in DC, open for Agoraphobic. You and I, Nick,
Yeah,
a few years back. Yeah, I love this project. I've always loved this project. Adam and John have had projects throughout the years that I've known those guys for 20 some odd years now. And aside from All Will Fall, this is absolutely my favorite project from the House of Jarvis. This is a fun project, and AJ posted the other day that there's some stuff at brewing, and like he was telling us whenever we were hanging out with him a couple of weeks ago that they may have some new stuff coming, and very excited for that. Very excited for new Fulgora. The next test press that I'm just going to kind of scratch the surface on comes from Bandit, a band out of are they from Pennsylvania?
Philadelphia.
They're from Philadelphia. The boys in Bandit. This is the test press for Warsaw, which came out in 2018. There were 20 of these, and I own one. I don't think I got it from the band. I know I'm not as close to, I wasn't as close with the band then as I am now, but yeah, whatever. I got a test press of Warsaw. The final band that I'm going to do 2 different test pressings for. The first is the debut EP from Anal Trump. This is the That Makes Me Smart EP that came out in 2016. There are 6 of these, and I own number 2. Number 2 of 6. Travis might own number 1. I might have gotten this from Travis. I don't remember exactly where this came from. Doesn't matter. I have it. It's mine. All mine. I love this project. This is actually the print sheet for That Makes Me Smart. That is the original print sheet that I got from Travis. Test press to go along with the original print sheet. Pretty cool to have. And the last vinyl that I'm going to feature in this episode is the Anal Trump test pressing for To All the Broads I've Nailed Before. This was the actual EP was released as a 5-inch disc, but the test press was done as a 7-inch. Now, how that translates in the real world, I don't know how all that works. I don't know how they go from 7 inches to 5 inches, but either way, this is number 10 of 15 test presses done. A few years back in 2019, I went to see Pinback, one of Rob Crow's other many bands in St. Louis, and I took the test press with me and got Rob to sign my test press, and I don't think I really have to explain who this depiction is supposed to be for the Anal Trump band project. But yeah, this is definitely one of the most cherished test presses that I own. I love the Anal Trump project. I really wish we would get more, but in order to get more, I think we would have to have. I'm not getting into that shit either. So yeah, I love Anal Trump. I'm thankful for what we've gotten from them throughout the years, and yeah, very stoked to have those test presses for Anal Trump. Awesome project.
You know damn well you got that first test press from Travis.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, I don't know where it came from. I don't know. I don't know where it came from. How'd that get in there? Maybe I don't know. Maybe Nick ordered it and mailed it to me to get me in trouble.
We both got hit up, and we both.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that was a funny project. Those song titles were absolutely hilarious. Like,
oh, dude, it's so good, and like even the collection of everything that they've done. You know, the first 100 songs was like 11 minutes.
Yeah,
you know, you just drive down the street and listen to the entire thing. It's incredible.
no, for sure.
So fun.
All right.
All
My
right.
final ones here. I'm gonna shoot these out real quick. This is the Pig Destroyer picture disc from Reptilian Records.
Oh, I don't own that.
This is like let's see here. Recorded during the month of May 1999 at Oblivion Studios in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Thanks to Chris X. And I'm not going to give them all their shout outs. But this was on Reptilian Records. They put out quite a few picture discs, Reptilian. That's that. But I got the test press. This was a gift from Mr. J.R. Hayes. Shout out to J.R., founder of this show. Yeah, I went to buy a bunch of records from him one day, and he threw this in there. He's like, "Here, you can have this. This is the test press of the picture disc." And I was like, "No shit." So, all right, I got myself one of these. I don't think it's numbered. I don't know how many are in existence, but yeah, you see the labels, a little rip there. But it comes with like the Reptilian stamp and how to find them. Erica Recordings, they do test presses all over the place. But yeah, good old Pig Destroyer. It is. That is my contributions for the 7-inch episode.
Trying to get over my jealousy of you having a test press for the fucking picture disc. I don't even know. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I got quite a few picture disc test presses. I got a Dying Fetus one. I got that Beastie Boys one I showed you.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow I managed to get my hands on stuff like that. I'm a good guy. People like here take our records. That's literally what happened to me.
Don't ever come back to my house again, because I will never say, "Here, take some records." I probably would be like, "Nick, you're such a good guy. Take these records that I don't want. Take the Steely Dan record I don't want." But very cool, buddy. Very cool. And another test press, man. Like now your Paul's Boutique picture disc. Wasn't it Paul's Boutique that you have the test press for? That was like a plain white, like a thing, like that picture disc for the picture store. It looked like a standard black.
Yeah, it
pressing.
was. The I don't know. I guess he wasn't sophisticated enough to get like a one of those like blank pressings like that. They just press it on a standard 7-inch and then just gave him, the picture disc in whatever quality it was worth. But
yeah, I don't.
The other Dying Fetus test press. So they Purification Through Violence, when it came out on Blunt Force Trauma, I think it was like the picture disc, and yeah, Jason gave me that. It's like standard blank. I played it a couple times. It's the real deal. But yeah,
pretty cool. Either
same
way,
deal with your 5-inch that got test pressed on a 7-inch.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes things work out like that.
Crazy how that works out. Silliness, absolute silliness. All right, that was a good. That was a good 7-inch rundown.
Yeah. I know I've got so much more, but like when we compiled our lists, I was like, all right, well these we chose 7 each, so I figured this would be pretty simple to just. There were a handful that I knew I wanted to talk about in there. I know I have more, a whole lot more.
A whole lot more, yeah.
But these are the ones off the top of my head, like we discussed before this episode. when I went back and watched the first episode, we talked about records, and we're like, why did we talk about that one? So
Right.
we'll probably do another 7-inch episode someday. But before we do end this episode, Jeff, did you get any new records recently?
I have. I've gotten a couple of new albums from some highly anticipated bands. The first that I will feature is the new album from one of my favorite grind bands, Shock Withdrawal.
Okay.
This is the Dismal Advance. They did 2 different pressings of this. They did one on a radiation looking pressing. I don't remember exactly what it was called. I think it was Automation something or another. Autonomian. As I'm looking at the song title, maybe it was the Autonomian pressing, but it was it looked like a hazard logo. And then they did this other one, which I guess was more like more kind of like a random pressing. Like it wasn't, you just kind of got what you got. I believe the way I read this is you kind of, there wasn't a particular second pressing. It was just kind of random, whatever pressing. But this is cool. Looks like a chrome almost, black and silver chrome type thing. Definitely excited to have new material from Shock Withdrawal. Very excited to get that in the mail a couple of days ago. And yesterday I had 2 copies a couple of days early. This album doesn't come out until tomorrow, the same day as the new Taylor Swift album, which I don't have yet, but I will. The new Melvins album, Tarantula Heart. This album, they did 3 different pressings for. They did, since this is the 25th year of Ipecac Records being a record label, they're doing, I believe, every pressing of every band on their roster that is releasing an album this year, they're releasing on puke green vinyl. A la Ipecac, making people sick. Puke green vinyl. So the first pressing they did on puke green vinyl. This album has has a couple of different special guests on it. One of them is Roy Mayorga currently of Ministry. Melvins did a tour where they were opening for Ministry, and I guess the Dale and Roy really hit it off, and they wanted to collaborate on something together. And so they did this fun little, it's almost like an EP, I think. So it's not like a full-length album, I don't believe. Side A is just one song, One Pain Equals Funny. It's an excessively long track. And then the other ones, like I've heard Working the Ditch and Allergic to Food, which is a pretty funny title. Allergic to food, that would suck. It would be shitty. But I got 2 different pressings of this. I also got they did a violet purple pressing. I believe they did a very limited amount of these that were released without a shirt. Like I believe right now you can still buy this pressing in a bundle with a T-shirt. And I was like, I don't need another Melvin shirt. I just wanted the vinyl. So luckily, I just was able to grab just the vinyl by itself. But yeah, pretty excited for new Melvins. It's the first album they've done this year, and they might do 12 more. I mean, there's still several months left in the year. So Melvins, dude, they release a lot of shit. Dude, they release a lot of material. So yeah, pretty excited on new Melvins and Shock Withdrawal.
Right on. Well,
right on. Hell yeah.
I got a couple things in the mail as well. First, I'll start off with this legendary album I've been wanting in my collection for a very long time. Queens of the Stone Age, Songs for the Deaf. I mean, this album is just legendary as shit. First It Giveth, Jesus Christ. Song for the Dead, Song for the Deaf. I mean, everything on this record is just from start to finish. It's just incredible. This was a Discogs find. It's just standard black. It came out in, I think, 2019 was this repress. I know the album originally came out in 2002, but I always would tell Jeff, if you see a random copy of this at the store, buy it for me, because I can't find it anywhere. And then I finally found a reasonably priced copy of this. So I I'm off for the next 4 days. This album's going to get spun a lot, especially on the holiday in the next couple of days here. So happy to have that. And then this next one I'm going to talk about is a local band with a couple of buddies of mine. They finally put out this record. They're called Desolus. Desolus features Travis from Pig Destroyer. He plays drums in this band. He's also got our buddy Vivek plays bass, and Jimmy Frost on guitar. This band's very thrashy. This is put out by Hell's Headbangers. If you live in the DC, Maryland, or Virginia area, the DMV, you have to know about these guys. They've been playing a million shows these last couple of years. They're the gypsies of the metal scene now. This is the pressing. It's pretty cool looking.
Oh yeah.
The band is called Desolus. The album is called System Shock. These are three very young, enthusiastical metalheads, thrashers. I see these guys at shows all the time. Actually, I don't remember what show it was, but it was at the Fillmore a couple years ago. And Vivek took a picture of me and Jimmy to send to Travis. It was like this whole little Desolus triangle there. But these are great dudes. I love these guys to death. Vivek is a fun guy. He's come to a bunch of parties at friends' house, and we all love him too. Jimmy's just he's a badass guitarist. This band kind of has like Sodom tribute or worship. They absolutely these guys fucking kill it. They're good dudes. Like, I'm sure if you talked to Travis from in Pig Destroyer a couple times, and but cool record. Stoked they put out some vinyl. These kids have been grinding for the last couple years. Like I said, they play like a million shows in our area. You couldn't like log on to Facebook or Instagram and not see that these kids have a show coming up. They just played last night with Mortuous and Castle Freak at the Metro Gallery in Baltimore. But I'm very happy for them that they put this record out. I've been nagging them from the moment that they started doing stuff. That I was like, you guys need to put some vinyl out. Like I'd love to support those dudes anyway. They're good young dudes, and they're, like I said, they're very enthusiastic about what they do. And Vivek, he's a pilot. That's one cool thing about them. So I'm hoping one day he'll fly them to a gig like he's Bruce Dickinson or something like that. But that's a cool record. Those are some cool fucking dudes. I'm gonna see Pig Destroyer tomorrow night, so I'm gonna blow more smoke up Travis's ass about how awesome this band is. It's pretty cool that, like I said, that they, for young local kids, that how quickly they got signed and an album out. It's pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy for them.
Yeah, I know that Travis was very active musically. I know he's got a lot of different projects and stuff that he does fill in, like for the Cavalieras. He's doing something for them, and he's very 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 active. There was a few years ago. It was 21. It was after the pandemic. I went out to Baltimore and met up with Blake, and he said, we're going to a show we're going to a house show. I said, okay, that's whatever, dude. I'm in town now. We can do whatever you want, And so we went to this house show, and Travis was playing drums for a band. I don't know if it was that band, if it was Desolus, or who this project was that Blake and I went to see. But I mean, that's pretty cool if it was the same project. I watched them play in a house show of like 15 people.
Yeah.
To them having a record, like, that's pretty incredible. It's pretty awesome. But we went there on the strength of to see this band that Travis was playing drums for.
It's probably what other bands he plays drums in. He may, but it's probably.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was the same project. But like I'm saying, I don't know how active the guy is in these little, side projects that he does. That's not, blasted all over Facebook.
As far as I know, this is the only other one he's got outside of Pig Destroyer, and then the fill-ins that he does for Cavalieras. But
well, then that's cool. I've seen that band. Then I've seen Desolus play a house show in Baltimore. Pretty cool. Very cool for them. Congrats for them on getting an album pressed on vinyl. That's
like I said, they play a ton of shows. It's like almost like 3 shows a week for these guys. So like at some point somebody took recognition and you can't get anywhere without hustling. That's what it's all about. And
Sure.
like I said, somebody took notice. Hell's Headbangers. They put out a lot of cool stuff. They repress a lot of neat stuff, and they've got a nice distro on their website, and they got a lot of cool portal stuff on there. You know how I feel about that band. So.
Oh yeah, big Portal fan. Hell's Headbangers actually just released. I don't know if they released the album, but they had CD copies of a band from Jefferson City that I've done a lot of work with and pretty good friends with throughout the years. Degrave. They were releasing the new Degrave album on Hell's Headbangers.
Well, then fuck yeah, that's good for. It's awesome that Hell's Headbangers supports the local music like that. Then,
Sure. The smaller bands, man. That's awesome.
I mean, like I'm from out in this area. Desolus is one of them. Shout out to Abominog. Those guys have been doing it for many, many years, but they're back in the game and they're playing a lot of gigs. And then actually, JR is supposed to be re-releasing their 1998 EP. I don't know what it is, but it's coming out soon on Mold Dominion. So, yeah, my little scene is blowing up here. So, shout out to all these bands, and certainly shout out to Hell's Headbangers for putting out my buddy's band here. There's some cool stuff.
Hell yeah.
Well, I guess this is the time where we call it a day. Thank you again to everybody for listening to his long episode. Thank you, Jeff. There you go.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you for waiting until I was done eating dinner to to do the episode.
Is that what you call it? No. Yes. Well.
How do we end this episode now?
Yeah, how do we? How can we make this any more awkward? Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you all next week.
Yep. See you guys.